This month our company turned 18. So today I'd like to share our journey with you. It all began in August 2007. My wife and I started an online store selling PC components. I was working at a local PC store back then, and my boss decided one day to let go of B2C and focus on B2B. So it seemed like a good idea for me to build a website and sell to those customers, the B2C. And that was our first project. I kept my day job, and my wife, who worked in retail, had quit and was fully committed to the online store. At the end of the year, we realized it was not going very well, and it was never going to work, actually. E-commerce was booming, and everyone and their mother was launching an online store. Margins were low, and returns were killing us. The big players had the best prices, and we couldn't compete with them. I thought, if the problem is that we're all selling the same products and we're fighting on price, then the logical solution would be to sell something that no one else is selling. Preferably something that doesn't involve warranty, so there are no returns. That's how we started our second project, a printed t-shirt store. We had original designs and sold unique products no one else had, so I thought this could turn into a streetwear brand. I began looking for resellers, and I created a backstory for the brand with a character that was a ninja robot from outer space, the lost child of Darth Vader and Coco Chanel. It had a blog, something similar to the Fake Carl blog. It was funny and creative, and I loved it. I think I actually loved it too much, and I let this passion blind me. I was obsessed with quality. I never negotiated prices. I paid people whatever they asked for, but I demanded quality. Quality fabrics and quality prints. Unfortunately, I realized it doesn't matter how much you pay people. If they don't have their own internal pride in quality, their output will be junk. T-shirts were stored improperly, just thrown out in some corner of a warehouse. Some of the prints were crooked or washed out. I've changed a lot of suppliers and collaborators, and eventually ended up checking, folding, and packing every t-shirt myself. So this project wasn't going very well either. We were burning money. We started with 1,000 euros, but then we sold a piece of land that we had and put all the money in the business. About 12,000 euros, I think, all gone. At this point, it was 2009, and the ripples of the financial crisis, started by the subprime mortgages in the United States, began to show their effects in Europe and in our country as well. That's when I discovered WordPress. It was a breath of fresh air. There were so many themes and plugins that you could use to launch so many different projects easily, like putting together puzzle pieces. That's how we launched our third project, an online directory featuring fashion stores where people could leave reviews and share their experiences. Listing the online fashion stores was the main thing, but we started to publish articles like, this store has started summer sales, or that store has launched a new collection. This turned into articles like 10 brown boots under 100 euros, or 7 chic ways to wear the sporty sweatshirt. Traffic went up, we made money with affiliate links, and the site slowly turned into a small online magazine. We had some traffic spikes, especially around Black Friday and other sales periods, which led to my interest in optimizing performance, web hosting, and scalability. I also started building websites for others. I wasn't actively pursuing this, it just happened as people around me learned that I had a website that I built myself, and asked me to build theirs. That's when I realized that over half of small offline businesses had no website. So I figured this could be another opportunity. But I had a bigger problem. After 3 years of entrepreneurship, I was exhausted. I would work 8 hours at the office, come home, and continue working on my business. I had trouble sleeping, my brain just wouldn't shut down. It was constantly working on something. When I was sleeping, I would dream that I was working. The next day, I couldn't remember if I had done a particular task or I just dreamt I had. So I had to double check everything to make sure. But my daughter was about to be born, and I made the best decision of my entire life. I took paternity leave. This is quite nice in our country. It's 2 years with 85% of your income. Basically, you're losing 15% of your income, but you get to stay at home for 2 years. The government is doing this to encourage people to have children, to increase the birth rate, because we have an aging population. So I took this chance. Now, with more time on my hands, I was getting more sleep and was well rested, and I began to think sharply and see clearly. So I got back to the idea that there must be an opportunity in building websites for offline businesses. I talked to some business owners, but most were unwilling to invest thousands of euros in a website. What if we can make it easier and cheaper? I asked. That sparked some interest and it got me thinking about productizing this. So I came up with a solution to sell a monthly subscription that included everything. A domain name, a ready-made website you can choose from predefined templates, web hosting, and website maintenance. We launched this project under the name SimpleNet, the simple way to be on the internet, targeting small businesses. It wasn't as successful as I thought it would be, but it was more successful than all the other projects we had. Successful enough to think that's it, that's our winning project. I'm not going back to work. Although we were focused on small business websites, we started to attract other customers like bloggers and publishers because we specialized in WordPress. They needed technical help, mostly about performance and scalability, handling more traffic. They didn't need a website, email, or a domain name, just better hosting. So I focused my learning on performance optimization for WordPress, setting up Nginx, PHP, and MySQL, testing cloud providers, and trying to squeeze as much performance as possible. We then began to sell hosting plans, performance audits, and optimization. It was a very happy time for me. I've always been analytical and technical, and I easily understood how things work and how they can be improved and made to work more efficiently. And I felt like I had finally found a way to monetize this thing that comes so naturally to me. It wasn't much about money. It was about this feeling that I was finally finding my place. I was becoming something. I was providing actual value for people, and that made me feel competent and empowered. It was a great feeling. It also helped that the managed WordPress hosting was booming. A wave of companies launched into this space like Press Labs, WP Engine, Kinsta Flywheel, and many, many others. I understood this was our niche and decided to stick to it. I returned to my day job only to present my resignation. We shut down all other projects and focused on what we do best. And that's what we've been doing since 2012. The only thing I regret is not going global with the WordPress hosting services from day one. We launched in our country and we stayed local. But now, with the rebranding to Kiravo, we're tackling the international market. First, here in Europe, we have been launching new server locations in Germany, the Netherlands, and the UK. So here we are. 18 years since our first website and 13 years since we started offering WordPress hosting. We're still a small independent company. We're not perfect, but we are honest, and we try to get better every single day. This is our story with all the good, the bad, the mistakes, the failures. If you have questions or want more details on something, don't be a stranger.